So here we are in our Linux desktop. I am running Linux Mint 19 Cinnamon Edition, but you can run any distribution of Linux that you are comfortable in. So the first step is we're going to head over to the GitHub project page for Node Version Manager and download the installation script. When we land on the page, we want to scroll down until we get to installation and update. And we want to copy this command and paste it in our terminal. So we've pasted the command we copied from the project page and we press enter. This will download and install the Node Version Manager script and enter the necessary settings in our bash RC. Next, we close the terminal window and reopen it in order for the settings to take effect. And we can test if Node Version Manager has been installed properly by running nvm. And because we did not get an error message, we know that nvm was installed properly. Good. The next step is to use nvm to install Node. So we do that with the following command. Now, if we say nvm install node, like this, the nvm script will download and install the latest version of Node.js. Alternatively, we could specify a specific version of Node like this, and nvm will download and install that specific version of Node.js. Here I've elected to install Node 10.15.3 as it is the current long-term support version of Node.js at the time of filming. So nvm is going to head over to the repositories and download and install that specific version of Node. Once again, we can check if Node and npm have been installed properly by running the following commands. So node-v and npm-v return the version numbers of the installed programs. So we know we have version 10.15.3 as expected for Node, and npm is version 6.4.1. The next step is to use npm to install Ionic and Cordova. So we do that with the following command. So npm is going to head over to the repositories and install the latest version of Ionic and the latest version of Cordova. We use the -g flag to indicate that we want these modules to be installed globally. What that means is that Ionic and Cordova will be available throughout our entire system, regardless of which directory we're currently working on. If we did not include the -G flag, then Ionic and Cordova would only be installed in the current working directory. Also, we use Nvm to install Node so as to avoid permission issues. If we had installed Node directly on the machine using sudo, the Node modules folder would end up being owned by root, which means any other time we wanted to install any other module, we would always need to use sudo, and it is not recommended to do so. So now that Ionic and Cordova have installed, let's make sure that they are installed properly and accessible from the command line. We do that by running Ionic. And because there's no error message, we know that it has been installed correctly. And running Cordova. And Cordova asks us to anonymously report usage statistics, meaning that it's been installed correctly. Now that we have Ionic and Cordova installed, the next step is to close our terminal window, head over to our browser, and install Visual Studio Code. So we head over to code.visualstudio.com and download the .deb installation file, since we are running a Debian-based version of Linux. Alternatively, if you're on an RPM-based version of Linux, like Red Hat, Fedora, CentOS, you would need to download the .rpm installation file. So we click on the downloaded package installer file and click Install Package. We'll be asked for a password. And when the button changes to reinstall package, then we know that installation is complete. So we're going to close this. Next, we're going to head on over to our menu. And under Programming, we will find Visual Studio Code. And there we go. Visual Studio Code has been successfully installed. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.